Hi, this is Donna. Welcome to DD Paper Crafts, and in today's video we're going to be making this adorable chocolate cake with no calories. This is based on the well-known caterpillar cake. You can make the cake slices any size to suit your little treats, and you can make as many cake slices as you need. As you can see, I've got 6 slices here, so let me show you how I put it together. For my cake slices, I used a circle die which was approximately 3 inches in diameter, and obviously you need to cut 2 circles per cake slice. I then trimmed mine down at 2 3/8 of an inch so that I could get the flat surface so the box could sit upright. To ensure I got as accurate as I can, I cut them in pairs and I laid my ruler along the 2 3/8 of an inch and then cut. So that gives me the outer edges of my cake box. Now I would suggest that once you've decided how big you want your cake slices to be, you just take a piece of copier paper, cut a strip to calculate the length that you're going to need to go round the curve of your circle and along the bottom edge, and then allow a small flap to go inside. Mine is approximately 9.5 inches, and I've chosen to have each cake slice 3/4 of an inch wide. So I've cut a strip of card which I've then just run through an embossing folder just to give this wavy effect. So this is 9.5 inches long, and I'm going to score at 9 inches and 6.5 inches. And then I'm scoring at 1/4 of an inch and 1 inch. This is going to give me the outer band for my box. I'm just going to cut into the flap at the end, and for the time being I'm going to cut straight up the 1/2 inch score line. I'm going to cut a wedge away along the 2.5 inch score line on either side of the score line to create a tab. Do the same on the other side. And then I'm going to cut notches all the way along within the 1/4 inch tab to allow me to create the curve element which is going to join my 2 pieces together. I'm going to start by just folding over along the score lines. I don't want to burnish too thoroughly because it will take away some of the embossing element. And I'm now going to go along and cut my teeth, and I'm going to create my teeth like so. And now we've got our teeth, what we're going to do is, using our chosen adhesion method, we're going to add this outer strip around the one side of the box. And I would suggest that you start with the second score line, because if necessary you can then trim off this end if you're slightly out with your measurements. I'm going to use red liner tape for speed, and I'm just going to line my bottom edge up with my flat score line and work my way round, adhering the teeth on the inside of the box. You can see here, because I've cut each of these individually, I've got some overhang here, so you can see that my outer cover doesn't quite meet up with the edge of my box, but I'm not going to be concerned. all I'm going to do is I'm going to line my scissors up with the edge of my outer, and I'm just going to snip across and trim that to shape. And I'm now going to add my other piece. Again, I'm using red liner tape just for speed, because I'm not making this for any particular occasion. I'm making it purely as a demonstration video. Again, I'm going to start from the flat end and work my way around, adhering the outer cover to the surrounding strip. And again, that doesn't quite meet up, but I'm not going to be concerned. All I'm going to do is take my scissors and trim that to the other end. You could, if you wanted, before you get to this final piece, in fact I can go back in and add a small finger notch, which I can do with my circle punch. Just get that in there, then I can go back in and stick that back down. So my open flap will come in like so. I'm just going to, now I can see that that fits, slots in nicely. I don't need to do it. So that's my cake slice. So I'm going to make a total of 6, which is going to include the face, which I'm going to attach to one of the boxes. So I'm going to get on with the decoration, and I'll come back and show you the caterpillar at the end. I've now decorated each of the cake slices. I've used some Tonic Nouveau vintage drops just to create a swirl on each of the slices to give a buttercream effect. And then on the top I've used Nouveau drops again to create a sprinkle sugar strand effect. So I've done that on each of the boxes. For the face, I've cut a larger circle. This is fun foam, but you could use cardstock, some smaller circles here, and I've added some foam elements on the front and some googly eyes. The mouth is just drawn with pen. The box opens like so. This one fits a couple of packets of love hearts. That's what I had in my sweet stash. I would say consider what you're going to be putting inside, and you might want to secure your tab. This one, for instance, you could use some hook and loop, and you could put a little piece of hook and loop behind here and on here, and that would secure that in place. And as I said at the beginning, you can resize these boxes to any size you want. And I think this would be a really nice thing for a children's party. Instead of a party bag, they could each have a slice of this cake. You could just put some little treats inside, and I think it's just a really fun design. I'll just show you what it looks like from the front. I hope you've enjoyed today's calorie-free cake project. I hope you give it a go. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done already, please consider subscribing to the channel to watch future videos. Until next time, thanks for watching.